buying versus renting in the Netherlands as an expat. This is an analysis that we're going to make for you because we get asked this question a lot. Should I buy a house or just rent something during my stay in the Netherlands? And during this video, we'll make a comparison to help you decide on this. To be able to answer this question, we'll need to analyze what the relevant purchase cost would be if you would decide to buy a house and how long it would take for you to be able to regain these costs in comparison to paying rent. Let's take Ben as an example. Ben is 32 years old and just has bought a house for 500,000 euro. Let's make a breakdown of the cost that he has to keep in mind. Since Ben is below the 35 years and is buying something for less than 525,000, he does not pay any transfer tax at all. So that will be 0 euros. He will have costs for the notary, which are around the 2,000 euro. He also paid for a valuation report, which was around the 800, and did a technical inspection for 400. Besides from these fees, he has paid the mortgage advisor 3,100 and made use of a bank guarantee for another 400. Ben also chose to use a real estate agent to guide him with the process and putting in the offer, which cost him around the 4,000 euros. And this brings the total cost to around the 11,000 euro. Out of these costs, he will also get some tax return, which would mean that the net cost after all these deductions would be 9,000 euro. With current interest rates, a 500,000 mortgage would lead to a gross monthly payment of around the 2,450. Do keep in mind that although the gross monthly payment starts at 2,450, at the beginning only a relatively small part will be the actual repayment of the mortgage, which amounts to around the 700 euros. This repayment part increases over time. However, the interest that you pay here in the Netherlands is tax deductible. So the monthly return would start around the 600 euros, leading to a net monthly payment of 1,850. Let's see now how many months it would take for Ben to be able to regain the 9,000 euro net cost that he has to pay. Ben used to pay 1,700 euros in rent, which means that it would take him almost 6 months to be able to regain these fees that he has paid. In this situation, you could say that his monthly payments for housing went up from 1,700 euros for rent to 1,850 and net monthly payments for the mortgage. However, after 2 years of having a mortgage, he would have already paid off 18,000 euro of his debt. And this calculation does not even take the appreciation of the property into consideration, something that is quite likely to happen due to the shortages in houses in the Netherlands. In short, buying a house in the Netherlands is interesting if you're planning to stay for at least a year or two. You will have had enough time to regain the purchase cost that you had to pay and already paid a part of your debt. If you're not sure if you are planning to stay longer than 1 year in the Netherlands, it might be better to rent. You would not have enough time to recover the purchase cost that you would have paid, and you might be a bit more vulnerable for any volatility in the housing market prices, especially in the short run. If you want to have a more accurate calculation of buying versus renting, make sure to discuss it with your mortgage advisor. And for more mortgage tips, make sure to click here.